Okay, when you first get into the app, it may look something like this, but do not freak out. All these different blocks and colors have a meaning. So let's start with the white one. The white area in your calendar is your awake time. It is also all your available study time. Right now you can see on Saturday you have 15 hours of available study time, but that will shrink as you create events. With every new event, you will lose some available study time. On top you can see dark gray, which is your sleep time. As far as we know, you cannot study while you're asleep, so there is no available study time then. To adjust your awake time, just click the three dots in the bottom left and click Adjust Awake Time. And this light gray area just means that you started your term on Friday the 21st, and anything before that cannot be used to create events or tasks. And the last thing I will mention here is this slider. You can slide it all the way down to zoom out and see your entire day, or you can zoom in to see your events in more detail. And that's pretty much the layout of the land, and now we can start creating your schedule. To create your schedule in terms of navigation from left to right, make sure you're on Home, in your pile, and on your calendar tab. To create my schedule, I will go to a fresh new week. Here again, I can see that all of my awake time is my available study time, like I mentioned before. You will be creating your schedule by dragging items from the left sidebar into your calendar. You have three types of events to pick from: your courses, your activities, and custom events. By dragging in your courses, you will create your class times. By dragging in your activities, you will create your weekly commitments. Custom events are for things like your dentist appointment or a meeting. They are your one-off events. When you drag a custom event into your calendar, it will not appear in the sidebar. It will only be an event in your calendar. From the left sidebar, you can also connect your Google Calendar. Connecting your Google Calendar will allow Shovel to show your Google Calendar events and exclude them from your available study time. One thing to keep in mind is that you should create your courses inside Shovel and not inside your Google Calendar, because you need your courses inside Shovel to be able to create tasks, but more on that later. One thing to notice here, that by clicking on a course, I entered the course and everything on the right will be filtered by my economics. So if I click on task list, my task list will show all of my economics tasks. But for now, I want to view everything. You already created some courses in the quick setup, but if you need to create a new course, simply click the plus, and let's create computer science, but let's call it CS 50 so that it's a short name. Press enter, and then we can change the color to something like this. Okay, and that should be everything you need to know about the sidebar. Now, to create a class, all you have to do is drag a course from the sidebar into your calendar. You can easily change the time when it starts or ends. So let's say it actually ends at 11:30. And a neat feature here is your commute time. So if it takes you 10 minutes to walk to class, put it in as commute before, so that we do not count that time as your available study time. Add in the building name and room number, and maybe type in that it's a lecture instead of a section. Most likely it repeats every week, but if you have a bi-weekly schedule, just switch this to 2. And if it repeats every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, select the Wednesday and Friday options as well. It is set to end repeating at the end of classes, which checks out, and press create. That's how easy it is to create your economics class schedule. You can see the event and the commute time connected above it. Now, as you can see, every day lost an hour and 40 minutes of available study time, and your available study time got separated into 2 in each of those days. If you're taking online classes and it is not required for you to be in lecture at a certain time, you should create that time for yourself so that every week you watch lectures at the same time. That way you can create a consistent study schedule and not fall off the tracks. Now to create an activity like the morning routine, simply drag it in, select when it repeats. So for this one, I'm going to go every weekday and press create. One thing to notice here is that this 20 minutes of free time did not turn into study time, but into extra time, but I will cover that in one of the later videos.